I introduce Saad Ansari on stage. I just want to say a few words about him before he comes up here. To me, Saad has academics down, he's got character down, he's got personality down. The guy is somebody everybody would love to have as a friend. When you meet Saad, you feel this quiet assurance. You know that he'll always be there for you. He's totally responsible, reliable. I know when he was on the announcement team, I never had a worry. If we ever had a scramble or things weren't quite happening, Saad would always step in. He's always there. And I know that he's going to go very far in life. And you recognize in him those wonderful qualities that everybody admires. You chose well. I give you Saad Ansari.
Yeah!
Respected elders, school board officials, staff, graduates, parents, family members, and friends, good evening and a warm welcome to you all. I thank you for joining us here tonight to celebrate this unique moment of happiness and recognition of great achievement. I would like to begin by thanking all the influential people I have met since the beginning of my journey called life. I thank my parents, my family members, for the continuous guidance and support through good times and through rough times. Surely without their tireless efforts in raising me, I would not be here today. So thank you for putting up with me, but I'm certainly not done giving you headaches yet. Staff and fellow graduates, I can't thank you enough for giving me this honor of representing our class tonight. Throughout the years, I have learned much from you, and your constant encouragement is a big reason why I walked up here today. Most importantly, I thank God for giving me such loving parents and surrounding me with opportunities and countless blessings, including people like you. So what is Port Credit all about? Who's representing the class of 07 you asked? It all revolves around the staff and students. Port Credit has truly been blessed to have a student body and staff such as the one of 2007. Our staff consists of peer professionals who are dedicated to educating us, while the student body is comprised of ambitious young minds. Whether in academics, athletics, arts, or community outreach programs, our student leaders have represented Port Credit extremely well. We're a lively group, led by several leaders, including our Student Activity Council representatives, who have worked relentlessly in organizing spirit activities and such as the grad tour trip. It really isn't an easy task, but our leaders made life at Port Credit memorable. You know, one thing I noticed about last year was that our class was extremely closely knit. And maybe this is true about every graduating class, but there was definitely something special about ours. We weren't really divided into distinct groups. Rather, we all seemed to get along with each other well. I remember walking to the cafe in the morning on the day of the test and seeing full rows of 12th graders engaged in last-minute cramming. And no matter what the situation was, even if we were all convinced that we were all going to fail, we took comfort in the fact that we were all going to fail together. We were always proud of each other. And our school name, Port Credit, home of the warriors, where the student body stands up for each other and finds mob satisfaction and duct taping the staff to the calf walls. As I look back to the beginning of kindergarten, I realize that I have come a long way and have learned so much. We have all learned about the structures of cells, the basic unit of life. We've learned how to write 5-paragraph essays. We've learned how to use science and math equations. Most importantly, we've learned to hate Turnitin.com.
Yes! Reach out, brother!
We have now uncovered some of the great mysteries of our childhood. We now know things like elemental P is more than one letter, or that seesaws are actually meant for chemistry parties. There are many differences between a kindergarten class and a grade 12 class. For example, we used to spend our days doing things like playing in the sandbox, whereas in high school, we learned about how many systems of Earth function. And then there are things that have carried through to high school since kindergarten. We still believe in sharing, in caring, and having fun. And we also still strongly believe in and practice nap time during class. We were young, innocent, and quick to believe what we heard and what we saw. Back in the good old days, we watched shows like Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, and the Pink Panther. Remember those shows? And you know what? We never thought twice about what bananas were doing in pajamas. We just listened. Just listened and knew that the bananas word was good. And when we watched the Big Comfy Couch, we believed that the 10-second tidy actually took 10 seconds. Why? Because we were gullible and always knew that good would prevail over evil in every episode of our favorite superhero show. But then, as we grew older, we found that the episodes in our history had not always ended on a happy note. We began to realize some of the realities and cruelties of our civilization. We learned about wars, about how people can hate each other. And with this knowledge, we set out for the future today, the real world, and focus on how to be successful and have a positive impact on society. So what does it mean to be successful? Yes, education is great, but is your success measured by the number of degrees you have, or by how much material wealth you have gained? I'm sure you've heard the phrase before, get rich or die trying. But I've always laughed at it because if all you do in your life is try to get rich, then you're already dead. I may not know the exact formula for success, but what I do believe is that the journey begins with appreciating yourself. Your respect towards others means nothing if you can't respect who you are. So go home tonight, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. Alright, so don't do that for too long. I'm sure you get my point. Another key to happiness is patience. In the fast-paced world of today, we have forgotten how to listen to each other and even to ourselves. Let's be patient with ourselves, with each other. Be patient with our parents. Before we think that our parents are burdens and throw them into senior citizens' homes, let's think about all the times that they picked us up when we had problems. Let's be patient with our parents so that our children too may show up the same